You may want to know, what does it mean to engineer a mitigation strategy? And you may be thinking, why do I need to do this if I've hired a defense attorney? Well, the defense attorney can't do what you can do, and that's demonstrate that you identify with the victims of this crime. You may not even know who those victims are, particularly if you've been charged or convicted of a white-collar crime. Sometimes people don't realize who is the victim in this case. I know that it's not important for you to look at this from your perspective. Rather, you've got to look at this whole mitigation strategy and engineering process from the perspective of people who have influence over your life, starting with the probation officer who will write that pre-sentence investigation report, continuing with the district court judge who will assess how much time to give you and the guidelines and what can you do to influence that sentence that is imposed. You've got to be thinking about the people you will meet in the Bureau of Prisons. What can you do to influence a better outcome at that level? And then probation officers on the other side of the journey, employers you're going to meet, how you're going to build your career. I didn't know how to do all of that when I got arrested. I was simply swinging for the fences and chose to go to trial. And even though I knew I was guilty, a jury convicted me and a judge sentenced me to 45 years because I didn't think about engineering a mitigation strategy. Ever since the judge imposed my sentence, I've worked really hard to differentiate myself from other people who go to federal prison. While inside, I started engineering that strategy. I put a plan together, I put priorities in place, and then I began building a series of tools, tactics, and resources that would advance me as a candidate for mercy at some point in the future. You've got to be thinking about your future. And I know the first thing you're thinking about is, oh my God, I've been charged with a crime. What am I going to do? I shouldn't be here. And that may or may not be the case. I don't ever make a judgment on that. As somebody who served 26 years in federal prison, I know I've got a different mission and a different objective. My objective is to try and change the system entirely and demonstrate that if a person is not a threat to society and has a place to live and a place to work, that person should be at home on home confinement or working rather than wasting taxpayer money inside of a federal prison. To bring about that change requires me to engineer a strategy, just like I'm telling you to engineer a strategy. You could follow along on my strategies just by visiting any of our platforms, whether it's Prison Professors Talent, whether it's White Collar Advice, whether it is just any of the work that we do. It's all about a strategy that we can use to influence administrators in the Bureau of Prisons, federal judges, policymakers in Washington, D.C., and legislators in Washington, D.C., who may not be so receptive to this idea of earning freedom, this idea that we should incentivize a pursuit of excellence. I know that I'm going to be working on that every day, but on a micro level, you have to be working on it if you're facing time in federal prison. You've got to be demonstrating what's different in your life. How are you preparing today for that pre-sentence investigation report, for that sentencing hearing, for your time in prison? In what ways are you thinking about the people you're going to meet in the future and how you can build a campaign to influence them so they see you as a candidate for leniency or mercy? If you don't know how to do that, I encourage you to spend more time on Prison Professors. Use our free resources. If you need somebody, there's certainly people on our team that are talented and can help you through the journey. We never ask anybody to do anything we didn't do, and that's why I feel with absolute confidence you can help yourself. I did it, and I know you can as well. I'm Michael Santos, and I believe in you.